Hello and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. I'm Mitchell.
And I'm Cody.
We did our 10th edition a little too early, so we're gonna interrupt it again for this.
Yeah.
Because this is a big deal.
Yes. This changes a lot of things, and we've learned a lot more from just one article.
Yeah. They are doing HQs join squads again. So I know you didn't play pre 9th edition. You started in 9th?
I started in 9th, so
I started in 5th.
Okay.
And you could basically join HQs to squads, and you had to kill the whole squad to get to the HQ. Now you can add characters back to squads again.
Cool.
So that's going to be interesting. Let's run down the
Sounds super interesting.
article. So we have the example of the Primaris Lieutenant. They called out that like the stacking buffs and auras was getting a little too much.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is that a particular HQ has a list of data sheets that they can join, and it gives them particular abilities. So this is
Have the
the leader.
The leader tag.
While this model is leading a unit, weapons equipped by models in this unit have lethal hits, which is, as we talked about before, the 6s to hit auto wound, which they specifically call out in this. We kind of alluded to it, but
Yeah.
and target priority is this model's unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in the turn in which it fell back. So it gives the unit it's in 2 different abilities, and both are pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's just a lieutenant.
Not bad. And again, it's pretty nice because normally, this character would do that for everybody. So it just kind of, again, makes you think a little smarter about what you want to take, and then just kind of eliminates some power creep.
Yeah. So it says done before deployment at the same time as transports and reserves are declared.
Yeah.
So it's not in your list building. It's
Fair.
when you before you put them on the board.
So you can kind of make last minute adjustments.
Yeah, depending on what your opponent's taking or whatnot. So this is an example of the lieutenant's units that it can join: assault intercessors, blade guard veterans, hellblasters, redacted.
Yeah.
There's
Super secret.
There's a couple redacted in there. That means
Yeah.
the stuff we don't know about yet.
We're gonna get more.
And regular intercessors, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Redacted's the important part.
Yeah, they specify in this that they can't do like Gravis and stuff for late flavorful reasons, which I can really appreciate that.
So like you have a reason for a Gravis captain because a Gravis captain can lead a Gravis unit, but not
right.
like you can't have a regular captain leading a Gravis unit.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, it's flavorful and again balance and.
This also particularly calls out that the lieutenant can be in a unit even if a captain or chapter master is already in that unit.
Yes, which I find interesting, and it kind of makes me think how I'm gonna already run some stuff because I kind of already play it this way, whereas like when I run Dante in a list, like he's always next to my Sanguinary Guard,
right?
Because Sanguinary Guard to be good have to have his. Well, I mean they don't have to.
Yeah. They just get way better.
They get better from his buffs and stuff like that, but there's always that little Sanguinary Priest that's like tagging along behind him, giving him the invul saves and stuff like that. So it's interesting because that's kind of how I've already played some things, but seeing it as like an actual thing in the game now is pretty interesting. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that's actually how I would normally build lists too, is I would go like this HQ is going to follow this unit so he doesn't get shot and buff it, and this HQ is going to be running up behind the tank. They called out that Lookout Sir is gone, and it is basically replaced with you have to kill the unit they're in before you can target them, with exceptions. I'm assuming snipers are still going to be able to shoot HQs out because they put a little asterisk. And there's also something it's a little further down called Lone Operative.
Yeah.
Which means that either you're stealthy enough or cool enough to not need a unit that you're in and still can't be shot from more than 12 away. So they call out Vindicare Assassin, so assassins are stealthy enough, and Commander Shadow Sun, and Lionel Johnson. Lionel Johnson says he needs a Astartes infantry unit, near an Astartes infantry unit. So it's kind of, sort of still Lookout Sir, but not really. And then Ironfather Pharos seems to only be able to be blocked when he's next to a vehicle. So you can't put like him next to a unit and buff the unit and still get. But we'll have to see.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because we talked about yesterday Lionel Johnson's deep strike type situation.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how this will work with him.
Yeah, it's interesting that they specifically called out Lion as an option. He gets the lone operative when he's near an infantry unit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is his 9th edition rules, but I'm sure they'll be very similar in 10th, being as close as they are. But just a weird little example I just now thought of. That
looks like the big deal, but yeah,
the gist of it for the article. But yeah, like just looking at how I currently play most of my stuff, I kind of already do this. Like in very odd situations, I won't. Like, even in my Leagues of Votann army, my Khal is never a couple inches or further away from my 10 stack of warriors, because like there is his meat shield.
Between Lookout Sir and the buffs that they generate, they're probably going to be there anyway. They're just kind of making it a not a forced, but making it a different way to utilize that.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty interesting. And I like the fact that there are some guys that have special lookouts, quote unquote lookout sirs. And I'm interested to see, now I'm really interested to see how psychers and not chapter masters, chaplains work. With are they only going to buff the unit that they're in?
That's fair. Like, I didn't even think about that. We haven't heard anything about how psychers are going to work yet, other than the psychic phase is gone.
Yeah, the psychic phase is gone, and the psychic stuff is on their sheet, but we have seen none of it.
Right.
So that was one of the first things I thought of. Is it going to be like, you roll a psychic test, and if you pass, the unit he's in gets a benefit, which means you wouldn't be able to pass out a buff to a different unit that he's not in. Yeah. Well, we'll see. This is a huge deal. And I'm going to tentatively call this Warhammer 7th Edition 2 Electric Boogaloo.
gotta have that.
They're going back to a lot of stuff they used to do, and I'm interested where they're gonna go with it. All in all.
Yeah, and I mean, you've seen we've seen a lot of companies that kind of do this kind of stuff, like especially in the video game market, like going back to the stuff that people liked and keeping out the stuff that people didn't like.
Right.
So from what you've explained with the previous editions, like this might be Games Workshop's way of doing that. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Next time. Well, I was gonna say next time. We'll see you, but we have no idea when they're gonna come out with new stuff. Yeah, it might be tomorrow. It might be Monday.
I mean, with all the rules releases that we're seeing in just the past few days, like an early summer release is looking more and more possible.
Yep, they're coming out pretty quick with the rules updates.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm Mitchell.
I'm Cody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.